Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. In today's video, I'm sharing the meaning behind the number 8 hexagram in I Ching called holding together. So let's take a look at the image of this hexagram, right? The external triagram is water and the internal triagram is earth. So you have this image of river floating and running, following the shape and up and downs of the landscape. So that means the two parties involved are very close to each other. The earth, the ground supports the water and the water nourishes the earth. So they mutually benefit each other. But looking at the oracle version of this hexagram in Chinese, it's a very clear image of two humans standing next to each other. It's the profile view. So it has the same indication that this number 8 hexagram means friendship. Those two parties have a close attraction to each other. It's a very genuine and sincere closeness. Because of that, they help each other out. They solve each other's problem. So because of that genuine connection and mutual support, it leads to a very positive outcome. So that's the general meaning behind this hexagram. So before I dive into the details of each line's meaning, let's also consider the connection with the prior hexagram, number 7, conflict. So think about two large bodies of people have a conflict of interest or a war. Finally, you reach the end of it, is everything got settled down. Now you move into this number 8 hexagram situation, which means everything calmed down after a giant conflict. You there's only one yang line in this whole hexagram, right? So everybody fall into their own correct, appropriate placement. And we have a very nice a leader with good moral leading the whole group, and everyone is enjoying the peaceful reward after the intense conflict they just experienced. So that's the general context for this hexagram. But we all know that each line in a hexagram, because of its placement, it represents either a timing. So this one is earlier phase of a situation. This is more the ending phase of a the question you're asking. Or it can represent the person's level of authority, right? This lower level might be the commoner, the normal part of a bigger group. The higher up you go, the more power and positional authority you have. So knowing that, even though the whole hexagram has a very positive and fortunate meaning, but because the different timing and the role you play in a situation, it can still have this nuance of good or bad outcome. So that's why we need to really dive into the details of the line description to see why it's good versus why it's bad, and what's the wisdom or guidance for me to correct the situation, especially if you land on the line description that's not super positive. So the first line, it represents a person who's newer, is a newcomer. It's fairly inexperienced, but why is this one super positive? Because I am super sincere and authentic. I know who I am. I'm not gonna fake it or put a bunch of superficial fluff around me trying to make myself look better or more experienced than what I really am, what I really know, or who I really am. Because of that realness, authenticity, and sincerity, and my way, that's my way to show trust. You naturally and organically will attract other people who appreciate that authenticity about you. That's why you're able to naturally connect with the right group of friends who will give you that support because you're very real with them. That's the reason behind the attract closeness and the positive outcome. And moving to the second line, this person has grown from this initial stage. he or she is more experienced, more knowledge, more wise over time. But it's more leaning towards that introverted aspect, meaning that I focus my time on growing my own talent, making myself worthy. And I know my own worth because I'm very calmly, peacefully, can deal with all kinds of situations that's arising in my life because I know I have the talent, skill, and knowledge to cope with it. But it's more like internal driven. It's not about broadcasting my talent and showing off to the world. It's like holding it very steady inside, because if you're able to steadily demonstrate that, you will naturally attract other people's attention, and they know who you are and they respect your talent. So that's its way of approaching a very positive outcome. It's more emphasizing the inner qualities. And it can also be like more broadly applied in a situation that, let's say you're the leader of a group, you ended up with this line as your primary result. That means focus on your internal orders and figuring out your inner way of working first before you pay your attention to external, like environmental or pressure or like opportunities versus threat. You really need to focus on your internal affairs first. And the third line is a bad one. The reason is, first of all, it's on the positionally, right? It's on the outside of the inner triagram. And look at who is this facing? It's water. The water triagram also represents some sort of a danger or threat. And because you're in this transitional phase, and this line number 3 naturally paired with this line number 6, and both have a very kind of negative end result. That's why this third line has a negative end result as well. It's like be very careful. The person you chose to be friend with is a wrong choice. That person will give you really bad influence and lead you to disastrous outcome, and it will cause you harm. So if you end up landing on this line, the best advice I can share is keep it status quo. Don't take any actions. It's actually way better than being in a hurry and connect yourself with the wrong crowd. They might actually do you more damage than good. So moving on to the external triagram, the fourth line, this is a very good one because it's close to the yang line, and the relationship is good because yin is underneath the yang, right? That's a natural order. So this means like I'm very talented, I'm good at networking, I can expand my social connections so that my talent is very visible. Even though the outcome between the fourth and the second line are the same, they're both about somebody see my qualities and talent and I get recognition. But the methodology is different. The second one is about introversion. It's about keeping myself really, I make myself worth it, so eventually people will see it. But the fourth one is about external. It's about promoting yourself. It's about connecting with other people to leverage their social influence to get yourself visible. So that's a different route to the same result. Moving to the fifth line, this is the guy in charge, right, leading all of these yin lines. The original line description is really vivid. It's saying emperor is hunting. It asks his hunting team to close the 3 sides of this hunting ground, but it intentionally leaves the 4th side open. The intent is for prey or animals to run away, give them a chance to survive. So that shows your humility and big love from the person in charge. but also it has a different tone of a meaning, saying that I want to lead, not with force. It's like I force you to respect me because of my position, but rather I naturally have this sincerity and authenticity to attract you to follow me because of who I am, to show this closeness, to show how considerate I am as a leader. And because of that, I have natural followers. That follows the spirit of this whole eighth hexagram is holding together. It's not about I will threat you if you don't follow me, or else you have this type of consequence. That's against the spirit of this hexagram. But because you attract people with big love without force and naturally go with the flow, it brings good fortune. Last but not least, the top line. Positionally, it stays above the guy in power. What does that mean? It means I'm so arrogant. I think I'm better than you. I don't want to play along. I'm just standing off the side by myself because everybody else is beneath me. I don't want to hold together with you guys. I don't want to be your allies or friends. And because of that arrogance, but this person occasionally might run into a case that, oh, I have to ask for help. I cannot figure it out by myself. Then you kind of approach the group with insincere alternative motive. You're asking them for their help rather than naturally wants to be friends and help each other. It's very one-sided relationship. Because of that, it brings misfortune, because it's either indicates you're too late joining the situation, you already missed the right timing to do something, or because of your own arrogance or misjudgment, you get isolated. You don't really have a group of friends to support you. So that's the meaning for this one. This is a very bad one if you land on it. So what can you do about it? It's like learn from it, do the opposite of what you're not supposed to do, and show sincerity. Learn from the ones that's positive, right? Once you overcome your virtue and really sincerely wants to connect with somebody, then you can eventually turn the bad and negative results around. So that's the wisdom I Ching teaches us. So it's a book of change. Nothing is set in the same destined, predetermined result forever. It's about whatever good or bad you land on, learning the why behind it, and either follow it or prevent yourself from doing something bad. That's the beauty of using I Ching. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.